Right, a very warm welcome everyone. Welcome to round 3 of the TSRB F3 Championship. Right, a very warm welcome this week on Qatar. Unfortunately, Teodoro will be absent this week, so it's gonna be just me, Luca, this race. But that should be no big issue at all. We see the first few drivers leaving the grid. Main driver to watch, as far as I know, is Eldot Zokanovic. Very quick in practice, obviously, as usual. We already see a spin at the back. I think that was Gankunen, maybe? I'm not sure. No, that was not. I guess we won't know who that is. Obviously, Eldot is a car to watch. He had a bit of an issue last week. Got his finishing position reduced by 1 position, which means he just about didn't get the clean sweep. But this week he's gonna try to do this again. Interestingly, we have a new entrant for this race, Mylan Ailing. Recently joined the F3 Championship, obviously. We've seen him drive in other championships, definitely a quick driver. But will he be able to get some podiums tonight? I'm sure he will be. Also, we see the return of Alex Norris. Last week he was absent due to unknown reasons, actually, but now he's back to compete. Right, so we have the first few people starting. Oh, as Danny Game 10 goes wide on the exit of turn number 5 or 6. That is unfortunate for him. We see some other people starting their laps. Rob Konarskis, who has interestingly changed his nationality to Italian. He is gonna be looking towards this pole, but obviously his big contender today is Eldot Zokanovic, so let's see what his first lap will be. A 1:41.3. But already I can see that his sector times are getting beaten. I think... No, it's not Bobby Vaquinov. He just came across the line. Let's see who beat his times. Yeah, it's Rob. Rob is on a great lap on the medium compound. Let's see what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a 1:40.9. Great lap by Rob there. Very, very fast. I think that might be good for a top 3 already, very early on into this session. Although he might want to improve slightly. So that's a great lap by Rob. He's gonna want to cool down his tires for this lap, so I don't think he's actually gonna be pushing that hard, although he does have a couple of green mini sectors here. Let's see if he improves. Oh, he actually goes fastest in sector 1. He is still pushing. He's not giving those tires a rest. Obviously, these Formula 3 cars don't have an electric hybrid system, so they don't need a cooldown lap technically, but these tires might slightly feel overheated after one lap. But he's just going through, and he's getting more green mini sectors, as you can see in the top right hand of your screen. Let's just hop on board with Eldad. Oh, Eldad invalidated his lap. It was not an improvement to begin with, but he did invalidate nonetheless. Oh, and Rob caught in traffic. Rob has to embed. Oh, and there's been contacts. There has been contact. Oh, and there's been more. There's been someone into the wall. I don't know who that was. Don't think that was that Mylan maybe? I'm not sure who that was into the wall, but that was a big accident. So as the first few minutes passed, we can see that Rob is leading. And he's leading pretty comfortably. You can see by 0.4. But in P3, it's Shane Poss, Eldad's teammate, with a whole second behind. So people are definitely gonna need to start pumping in some lap times. Right now we can see Victor Mojito on a decent lap. Not very fast, but it's definitely not a bad start of the lap. He hasn't put down unofficial time yet. Let's see what he can do. Right, so Tom, we see a little bit of a Dutch trio going on, but no, Alex breaks that. He improves to a 42.2. He can definitely go quicker, as we can see he's leaving the pits again. We have Mylan Ealing improving up into P3, beating Bobby Vakinov and Shane Poss by a couple of tenths. We can also see that Eldad just improved his lap time to 141 flat, which is not enough to beat Rob just yet, as Rob is also back out on track. Ooh, caught by traffic. He does get caught by traffic, yes. But we see Eldad on 2 green sectors. No purples though for him. Let's see what the lap time is going to be. He improves his lap time, but not by enough. Definitely not by enough. He's now exactly 1/10 behind Rob Konarskis, and he's gonna be pulling away from this. Jacob Ordonez coming in. I think that's not a flying lap. No, it was an out lap. He's gonna be starting his flying lap now. Can still see that some drivers haven't quite done a lap time yet. Jelle Kleinfelderman, Mateusz Vasik, Borja Kankunen, and Will Evans. Oh, Will Evans. I don't know if that was a fast lap or not, but he definitely had a big oversteer there. Across the line. No, it was an out lap. I guess that's not too bad for him then. Oh, someone's white there. I think that was the car of Yuri Gonzalez. Yes, it was. He's just getting it himself slightly wrong. So we're now gonna be watching Bobby, who's gonna be starting another flyer. He's gonna be looking to beat Mylan Ealing. Only about 400ths of a second between them, so that should be possible, though he doesn't quite hit the apex of this corner. Let's see if he improves further on. He does get one small green sector. Green mini sectors, excuse me. Let's see across the line for sector 2. Sector 1, it is an improvement for him. So he just needs to carry through the pace he was normally taking to get this. We see Mateusz Vasic, Red Bull Junior's driver, go off track. So he won't be having issues with him because he should be moving away. Bobby Vakuinov now through the fast turn. There we go. Mateusz getting out of his way. He now has a fully clear track in front of him. This is gonna be the lap time that beats Milan, I think. To these fast, high-speed combinations. Beating Eldad would be a bit hard, but I wouldn't put it on anyone else than Bobby Vakuinov. Coming through the final corner here. DRS opens on the line, and his lap time is a 1:41.4, so he does beat Milan, but still only finds himself in P3 behind Eldad and Rob. Milan was on a flyer. I think he has stopped though. I don't think he's still on a good lap. No, he's not. No. He's abandoned this lap. I think he might have hit track limits because he had a very decent sector 1 at 39.5. Very unfortunate for him. So he's gonna be starting all over again. Shane Poss, I think, hasn't improved his lap in a while. He has a few green mini sectors though. Doesn't improve his... Ooh! I think that might have been Mateusz Vasic. No. Then it was his teammate Victor Mojito spinning into turn 3. I think that was... So yeah, we see the final 1 minute 25 starting. Obviously, I don't think we will see a ton of improvements. We see Eldad going wide. He was probably on a good lap. Improved his sector 2, but he invalidated his lap. You can see the car behind also invalidating. He has to start over. Does get a purple mini sector though. Purple sector 3 even. Let's see if he can improve his lap. First, let's see what Rob is doing. Oh, Rob did have a purple sector 2, but then decided to go back into the pits. Probably track limits. Track limits are pretty tricky on this track. For example, in turns 5 and turns 10 through 14. So let's see how Eldad is doing. He's now coming down to turn 6. It is an improvement in his first sector. Remember, he's only 1 tenth off of Rob. This could very well be the pole position lap we're watching. As the finish flag waves. You can see that Bobby will be taking the flag as well. He is on a good lap. Hasn't improved any sectors, but he is very fast in sector 3. Will that mean he will improve his lap time? No, just about. Very close. Pretty much matching his other lap. Now we're back on board with Eldot Zokanovic coming down in the final corner of the circuit. Will it be enough to improve? No, he goes wide. He goes absolutely wide, and that lap is over, and he knows it. It was a... maybe it was enough. He did a 141.3. But he lifted before the finish line, so maybe that would have been the pole lap that we were watching. Yannis Ogman is definitely a strong return for him, having a bit of a bumpy race last time. Did a 142.1, not that bad. Finds himself in P7. Yeah, so just a little bit of a confirmation from the race control side of things. We could see that Eldot was in fact a 10th up, but then he messed up the final corner. Just a couple of drivers out on track. Diaz, one of them. I don't think this lap is gonna count for him anymore, and then we're gonna be waiting to go for race 1 when he even invalidates it. Which means we should be starting soon. Oh, and a spin in the back. Who was that? Hugo Edula getting it all wrong. Into turn number 5. Coming out of turn number 5 even. But you can see on the left hand side of your screen now the final finishing positions. Right, so we should be lining up for the race now. We have in P1 Rob Kunarskis, behind him Eldot Sokanovic. After that is Bobby Vakunov, Manon Ealing, Shane Porsche, Tom Zeo, Yannis Ogmanis, Hugo Rodriguez, Alex Norris, Thomas Piccolo, Carlton Lotus, Victor Mojito, Mattia Glaveric, Brendan Rubble, Jacob Ordenes, Kubas Jordan, Danny Game 10, Colin Elise, Juan Fernandez, Christopher Asachabel, Hugo Edula, Borja Kankunen, Jelle Klein Velden, Shinji Greenfox, Yuri Gonzalez, Mateusz Vasik, John Tanner, and on the final position with no time set, Will Evans. And as the drivers are getting to the grid, we can see that the conditions today are 20 degrees in the air and a 14-degree asphalt temperature. Just a small wind of 8 kilometers. And we can see that the track grip is fully 100%. We will have a 12 lap race for you in store, as the drivers are now on the grid. And it's gonna be quite the run up to turn 1. Eldad is definitely gonna be wanting to make a move there. He will have the insight, so he's gonna be hoping for the better race start. Although Rob Konarski is very fast, these men were only 1/10 apart. Right, so we're just 1 minute away of these drivers going green. You can see them line up over here. We have a little bit of a smaller grid today. Obviously, it is Easter. So happy Easter to all of the viewers as well. We have slightly less racers, but definitely not a worse race. I think we will see very good racing from these drivers. Very clean racing as we've seen before. Surprisingly for me, we find Alex Norris. I think he is... actually, let me double check before I say something wrong. I think he is in P10. A bit disappointing and unexpected because he was a race winner in the last round. Right, so the lights are coming on. 6 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Who gets a good start? Who doesn't? We can see that the car in P5, I think that's Tomzil gets a great start. Rob gets defensive. Bobby Vakunov alongside of Eldad. Very close, very close. They managed to get through Tomzil. What a great start by him. Round the outside of Milan Ealing. He gained like 2 positions. We can see that there has been some incidents at the back of the pack. We find about 2 people outside of the track. That's Matija Glavodic and Brendan Robble there. Milan Ealing and Tom Zeeuw battle for the best Dutch driver on track right now. Pretty darn close. Milan looking up the inside, but kind of fakes away the move. And we can see Giannis Ogmanis and Alex Norris side by side. Alex Norris must have had a good start. Giannis Ogmanis, oh, dive bombs him. That's not enough though to keep him alongside. Shane Poss, bad start for him. He started, I think, P4 or P5. Now finds himself into P10. So the cars in front are still very close. Half of a second separates them. And we are still under green flag conditions as the first lap gets rounded off. 0.4 seconds is the difference. Eldad is finding the pace to catch Rob. Will there be some moves made? Yes, Colin, Elise... Oh, 3 wide into turn 1 actually. Victor Mojito, Colin S and Thomas Piccolo. Thomas Piccolo is on the inside, gets one guy. But we see that Colin Elise lost 1 position to Thomas Piccolo, but Victor Mojito... Oh, and Colin spins! Colin Elise spins out and gets flipped as he gets hit by another car. Oh no. Colin Elise gets it all wrong, spins and gets hit by someone. Trying to possibly avoid him. And we have a full course safety car. Safety car has been deployed. That's very fair. Colin Elise, very unfortunate for him, but at least he's gonna be able to get back into the pack and not be stuck driving alone forever. So we see the safety car on track now. Very, very big split for Colin and Elise, unfortunately. Shane Poss in P9. That's still a couple of positions lost. So we're just waiting for the cars to catch the safety car. The safety car all lined up into going into turn 4 to catch the pack. And there is the safety car. So I think John Tanner actually gained a ton of positions on the start. If I'm not mistaken, he was one of the people who were further down the list from qualifying, now solidly in mid-pack in P16. We have some yellow flags, obviously, because we're in a safety car scenario. So let's just see Thomas Piccolo in P11. Some people are warming their tires, as you can see. So we're just waiting for everybody to catch the safety car. Colin Elise will be the final person. As the race direction is also still communicating with the drivers, giving them some instructions on the restart. That's probably going to be happening either this lap or the next one. Safety car is going to be in this lap. So Rob will be setting the pace. All these drivers just getting their final few temperatures into the tires. You don't want to start on cold tires. The safety car now pulling off to the pits, which means it is up to Rob who decides when he goes. Well, let's grab your popcorn and watch this restart. You obviously might want to do it in the exit, and he does. That's a pretty decent start by him, but Eldad follows him closely, just 3/10 behind. Is he going to be making a move into turn 1? Does he have the overspeed? No. Well, maybe around the outside, very, very wide, maybe a bit too wide. Back there, they go 3 wide for P3. Milan, Ealing, and Bobby Vacuum side by side. Milan round the outside, but Tom Zeeuw on the inside manages to find a gap, but that's not enough. Now has to fence off Alex Norris. What a great restart here. Going 3 wide into turn 1. Bobby Vakunov is holding on to that 3rd place. I think we've had a very safe restart. I think we've had next to no incidents. I do say that, but Will Evans is off the track. Spun on the exit of turn 5. Unfortunately. Up in front we still have Rob in the lead, but just 0.5 seconds behind is Eldad, which means that DRS will be activated soon again. So Eldad will have an advantage on the straight, and he will be trying to make a move going into turn 1. And we have a car off of the track. That was Yuri Gonzalez. No, it's Juan Fernandez into the gravel. Unfortunate for Juan Fernandez, the teammate of Yuri actually, so it wasn't that far off. Right, now Rob Kornaskis into P1 still. It's a bit boring for him to always be in P1. He's absolutely dominant. But back here we have a fight. We definitely have a fight. And we have someone going white. But we can see that P3 all the way until P8 are all within a second from each other. Can also see a bit further in the back. We're definitely having a very, very busy pack. All these drivers with just a couple of tenths in between each other. Very, very safe racing so far. Ooh, and a fake by Jacob Ordenez. That might have slightly caught up Shinji. He kind of locks his brakes. But it's not enough to force a mistake. Alex Norris going fastest into the first sector. He is definitely finding the pace. I just saw a yellow flashing very quickly for car number 4. I don't know what happened. He's still holding his position. Or was that for Tom Zeil? Anyway, Alex is definitely finding the pace. He's now right on the tail of Mylan Ealing. Former teammates in the championship for Hodap Rensport. There we go. DRS is now going to be enabled after the safety car restarts, so Alex Norris wants to stay within half a second of Milan to use this DRS. So interestingly, we can see that not only did Alex Norris get the fast lap of the race, both Eldad and Rob did not do valid laps. You can see they did faster lap times, but they were invalid. So they are pushing very, very hard to stay away from each other. Oh, Alex over the curb. Loses slightly to Milan. The gap is now 0.8 seconds. Still enough for DRS. But he doesn't want to lose too much in this phase of the race. Right, so Alex Norris, the gap is about 1 second as they're entering sector 3 now. This is all very high speed corners. This is where Alex was going very, very quickly. Last lap where he gained the most of Milan. Milan goes slightly wide. Mylan Ealing going outside of track limits again even. He does not want to get caught up with track limits or he might risk facing a penalty from the stewards for cutting the track. Alex Norris now has DRS though. Will it be enough to catch him on the straight? I don't think it will be. Alex Norris might be running a higher downforce setup than Milan is. Alex slightly missing his braking point. You must not forget that opening DRS gives you slightly more top speed, so you might have to brake like a little bit earlier. Ooh, off the track goes Christopher. I think they were nearly side by side there. Christopher and Kuba. But Christopher goes slightly more wide than Kuba. Back to this fight then. Alex Norris versus Milan. The gap hasn't very much changed, although Alex did have DRS and he does not own the fast lap of the race anymore. That is now in the hands of Rob Konarskis, a 142.2. Just like F1, we don't have an extra point for the fast lap of the race, but it's always a nice thing to own. Ooh, Brendan Russell. Ooh. Very much upsets his car, nearly spins it. Great save by him. Now has Borja Kankunen behind him. So I just want to go back to this fight. Mylan Ealing and Alex Norris. Alex opens his DRS again. This time he is quite far away though. 8 tenths. You don't just make 8 tenths from one DRS. He's definitely going to be much closer than last time though. As we see our first penalty come in. It is a 20-second time penalty for Will Evans for cutting the track. Alex Norris definitely on the tail here. So we can see that Yannis Ogmanis and Tom Zil were side by side, but Tom Zil just went wide. Now has to watch Diogo Rodriguez behind, but he goes down the inside. He forces Yannis wide. Diogo Rodriguez tries to profit along with this move, but it doesn't quite work. Ooh, off the track goes Yannis, and Diogo Rodriguez goes through up into P6, gained 2 positions there, just because of Tom Zil going very defensive on Yannis. Oh, and now Colton Lotus is trying to profit off of this battle. He now overtakes Yannis Ogmanis because Tom Zil and Yannis were battling. Ooh, Tom Zil gets it right. He gets it wrong though. Yannis Ogmanis going in front of Tom. Even Shane Poss overtaking Tom Zil. Tom Zil has lost like 4 positions from this battle. Very unfortunate for him. Though we still have some cars pretty close together over here, including Tom. Let's see if there's gonna be a DRS train. Let's see if they're gonna catch up to Lotus. Yannis going defensively. Shane Poss going for the move down the inside. And he makes the move. But he hits Carlton Lotus and they both crash. Shane Poss hits Carlton Lotus into turn 1. I think he missed his braking point slightly. Went in too hard. Hit Carlton Lotus and now he's still in front of Lotus. But Lotus loses a couple of positions because of this. Both drivers managed to save the half spin that resulted into this. But another bad move there. Unfortunate for Colton Lotus. He did nothing wrong. He took a great line into turn 1. Keeping all of the DRS users behind, but then unfortunately gets hit. You can see some side-by-side action from Thomas Piccolo and Colton Lotus. Thomas definitely profiting from the incident that happened just in turn 1. Moves up a position compared to Lotus. Yannis now in a good position. He definitely has some gap in front of him, but he has a comfortable gap behind. We've seen so far that 8 tenths of a gap is not quite enough to make a move into turn 1 unless you have a great exit, because I think Tom Z might have a good exit out of the corner. No, it's not going to be enough to make a move. Yannis's focus should be on driving away from this DRS train. Maybe taking Tom with them as well. Now, oh! I missed this. Rob Kornarskis is in P3 and Eldad Zokanovic is in P1. I don't know what happened to Rob, but he lost 2 positions and now has Milan Ealing to deal with. As Shane Poss gets 20 seconds from race direction. That is very reasonable. He obviously hit Carlton Lotus into turn 1 lap ago. And Jelle Klein-Velderman versus Danny Game 10 here. The battle for P21, although they're not fighting for the lead, this is definitely interesting. But I'm just gonna move over because Yannis Ogmanis and Tom Zil yet again find each other on track, side by side. Giannis on the inside, Tom Zeo round the outside. That's not a move that happens very often in these high-speed corners, but Tom Zeo makes it work. Oh, and a spin there. Oh, what a save from Giannis. The half spins into, I think that was turn number 13 there. Loses the rear end and manages to save. Oh, but those tires are very hot for him. You can see he's struggling. Great save by Giannis, but now he has to keep his tires cool. Though in front we see Victor Mojito, Carlton Lotus. Victor Mojito defending the outside, Carlton Lotus right the outside. He's already in front, just has to stick to the braking. And he makes the move stick. This is some great racing going on here. Mylan Ealing definitely has now overtaken Rob as well. Rob is having issues. I don't know if he has an issue with his tires or whether he's been having some spins, but Rob has lost 4 positions in the last 3 laps. Which means that Eldad is looking for yet another win. This is gonna be a massive hit for Rob in the standings. Mylan Ealing definitely happy with this race so far. He's gained a little bit, but he's definitely made some moves and he's looking to finish on the podium as Eldad goes through the start-finish line to start the final lap of this race. Yanis Ogman is right behind Victor Mojito here. Mojito definitely a fast driver. He's still gonna have the DRS from Lotus as well, so there will be no moves made into turn 1, I'm afraid, unless Okmanis goes for a big move. But Mojito goes for a move nearly on Lotus. That's not the battle you should be looking for, mate. Okmanis now very close on his tail, but with just 1 lap left. Oh, Brandon Rubble gets it wrong into turn 1. Now side by side with Kuba Sheridan. Kuba on the inside passes Brendan. Oh, and you see a position swap. Ogmanis through on Mojito, but we also see Lotus overtake Shane Poss. I thought Shane Poss was actually doing well in P6, but now he's back into P8. What has happened? A lot of drivers dropping back quickly as we're now entering the final couple of corners. Alex is still very close to Mylan. These guys have been battling it out all race. That is just awesome to see, but it's just 2 corners away from the final corner of the race as Eldad comes through the final corner of the race to claim victory into Qatar. Congrats to Eldad. Poppy comes into P2. P3 is for Mylan. P4 is for Alex, and Rob unfortunately into P5. So Rob's P5 might not be as bad as race 2 will be featuring a reverse grid format, which means that we will have P1, which is Eldad Zokanovic, don't be confused by the leaderboard. We'll be starting from the back. And we will have, I think it is Mateusz Vasik or Juan Fernandez, who will be pole position for the next race. Of course, we can see the confirmation of Shane Poss's 20-second time penalty for hitting Carlton Lotus in lap 8. Very, very unfortunate move. I think that definitely was not meant to be a lap 9. Right, as we're just waiting for the drivers to line up for the next race. Right, so I just will be going over the results one more time. In P1 we have Eldad Zelkanovic. P2 will be for Bobby Vakrinov. And the third and final position on the podium will be for Milan Ealing. After that we have Alex Norris in P4. Rob Konarski is unfortunately finishing in P5. Behind him is Hugo Rodriguez, Colton Lotus, Shane Poss, Yanis Ogmanis, Victor Mojito, Mattia Glavedic, Tom Zeo, Brendan Robble, Kuba Siordon, Jacob Ordones, Boria Kankunen, Christopher Ashashabel, Colin Ennis, Thomas Piccolo, Danny Game 10, Jelle Klein Velderman, Shinji Greenfox, Hugo Edula, Yuri Gonzalez, John Tanner, Will Evans, Juan Fernandez, and the final person is Mateo Wasik. So I'm just watching the standings and we see that Will Evans is the final car to face the finish flag, which means he will be starting from P1 for the next race. So we're just 40 seconds away from race number 2, about 30 seconds away from the drivers getting up to the grid. Right, so the drivers are now entering the track. We're 2 minutes away from going green. There they are. So I'm just gonna be checking out this grid because you never know with AC. We see that P1 has been claimed by John Tanner. He's gonna be starting the race in first. Yuri Gonzalez is behind that. Hugo Edula, Shinji Greenfox, Jelle Klein Velderman, Danny Game 10, Thomas Piccolo, Colin Elise, Christopher Asashabel, Boya Kankunen, Jacob Ordenes, Kubas Jordan, Brendan Robble, Tom Zeo, Mattia Glaveric, Victor Mojito, Yanis Ogmanis, Shane Poss, Colton Lotus, Hugo Rodriguez, Rob Konarskis, Alex Norris, Milan Ealing, Bobby Vakrinov, Eldad Zelkanovic, and these 3 drivers failed to finish the last race. So you can see Mateus doing some tire warming. Alright, so John Tanner in P1. I'm gonna be interested to see how he's gonna hold on to this race. Last race at Sepang, obviously the first corner was a bit of a nightmare. And a full course yellow was called, which caused even more nightmares. But this race, we're gonna be seeing something better, some better racing action. Because what's better than some good, hard racing? So the lights are on. 5 red lights. 6 red lights. And oh, John Tanner, very bad start for him. Yuri Gonzalez immediately takes over the lead. Hugo Edula up into P2 now. As we see all the drivers hustle for a good position on track, we see a couple of cars side by side, and we see that Colin Elise spun in the background. We see a couple of more collisions. We see about 4 cars off there. Carlton Lotus, pretty decent start for him. I think the best start has been for Tom Zeil. He is now into P8. Yeah, so about 4 cars were off at the beginning of this race, which is about a tenth of the car, so not that bad actually. Oh, and we see a Red Bull car in the walls. That is Victor Mojito. Oh no. Oh no, Victor Mojito spun in the final corner, or maybe was spun by someone. I didn't perfectly see it, but he's down into P26. Now side by side were Thomas Piccolo and I think that's Hugo Edula. Yes, it is. For a little bit, but they are now past Thomas Piccolo up into P4 already. Now he's going to try and make a move down on Danny Game 10, round the outside for the next corner. Will he be able to make the move? We saw Tom Zeil do it before, but Thomas doesn't make it work just yet. Yuri Gonzalez with the 2-second lead here. Very good start by him. We saw that John Tanner was slightly sleeping at the start. Oh, and a braking mistake from Danny Game 10 means that Thomas will be able to get P3. But he slightly pushed out Danny Game 10. I don't know if he left some space, but it doesn't matter. Tom Zeil goes through and overtakes Thomas Piccolo. They're now gonna be side by side heading into turn 1. Round the outside tries Thomas, but Tom Zeil shuts the door. What an awesome start by Tom Zeil. He is now up into P3, and because of the reverse grid, P1 should be within hands reach pretty soon. Next of the cars on his list is going to be Shinji Greenfox. Shinji leaves the door open and Tom Zeil moves through. Oh, and we see a car off in the background. That is Hugo Edula. He lost the rear end into turn number 4. And there's another car off. Oh, that is an agile car. Thomas Piccolo off of the racing track. Oh no. Thomas Piccolo off of the racing track in turn 6, I think. When he has some very, very hot tires. A lot of hustling for positions. We see the same people. Lotus, Alex and Eldad battle it out. Rob is right behind Eldad for a change, but Eldad still has some positions to gain. Lotus goes wide, Eldad moves up into P6. Alex Norris trying to look to make a move on Danny Game 10, but he doesn't quite have the overlap yet. Shinji is being passed by Eldad as well. Round the outside tries Shinji, and Alex Norris makes a mistake into the final corner. That is going to cost him. DRS gets enabled. Side by side now, Alex Norris and Eldad. Very close, very close. We see Shinji with the slipstream going round the outside maybe. Alex Norris in the middle, Eldad on the inside. Alex Norris breaks later, and Shinji gets hit by Carlton Lotus, I think. Lotus kind of hands the same fate he got handed by Shane Posh in race 1 to Shinji Greenfox. That is something the stewards are going to be looking at for a while, because I'm not sure if Shinji broke too early or that Lotus broke too late. Anyway, Tom Zeil into P1 now with a comfortable gap of 1.6, which is 9 laps left to go. Alex Norris is about 2.5 seconds away from him. Does he have enough pace? Whoa, we see Yuri spin. Yuri spun. Yuri was doing a very good job at staying in the front, but he just spun, losing just over 11 positions. Back into P16 for him. That means Alex Norris now has a clear view of Tom Zeo, but the problem is he is still 2.5 seconds behind. But will he have to be... Oh, slightly wide there. So the two fastest men in qualification, Eldon Sokanovic and Rob Kornaskis, very, very close. Rob is already trying to make the move into the final corner. It kind of works out because he's gonna have the DRS. Eldon is probably also gonna have the DRS, but Rob got the better exit, but Hugo Rodriguez gets the better exit of both of them. He overtakes both cars, but no, and they touch on the straight. Oh no. Hugo Rodriguez down the inside of Eldot, nearly make contact. Rob on the inside of Eldot now, and makes a move now around the outside of Hugo Rodriguez. Lotus knocking on the door of Eldot, like, hello, I want that position as well. Ooh, contact between Rodriguez and Kornarskis. I think Rodriguez rear-ended Rob there, costing him the position, as Eldot goes slightly wide, allowing Lotus to maybe come through. Alex Norris in P2, driving very, very quickly. He's already gained half a second on Tom Zeo. But will that be fast enough to catch him by the end of the race? Obviously, once you're within that 1 second and you get the DRS, that should be enough to make a move within at least 1 or 2 laps. And he's getting towards it very, very quickly. Hugo Rodriguez still in P3, but now down comes Rob with DRS, pulls to the inside, and Hugo is defenseless. So Eldot now in P5, that's not a great position for him. Hugo putting in some very good defending, even though he had some contact with Rob. He wants to keep Eldot behind. That would benefit Rob a lot. That would make up for the contact, maybe even. Eldot definitely faster than Hugo though. Let's see what happens. About 0.2 of a second in between them. Oh, and there's a car off. That was Christopher off of the track. Turn 11. He's overheated his tires. Bobby Vakinov, very interestingly, one of the fastest drivers on the grid, is into P20. He must have had some incident in this race. So now Hugo Rodriguez and Eldot, they are about 2 tenths away from each other. Eldot will be opening his DRS though. Let's go on board to see if Hugo is gonna defend. No. He knows what was gonna happen. Eldot makes the move very, very easily. Hugo is down to P5 and Eldot up into P4. So now we are having a good fight here for the top 5. Ooh, big bit of understeer for Eldot. Right, so we can see Shane Poss into P11. Not very good for him. Was expecting a bit more from the American driver, because his teammate Eldon is in P4, but he wants that podium, and he's gonna want it from Tom Zeo. Tom Zeo will be facing some DRS from Alex with 5 more laps to go. I don't think there's a way Tom Zeo is gonna be able to keep this P1. He's gonna be trying to look at a podium maybe. Alex is too far back to make a move just yet. But he is so close. The gap is just about half a second. So you can also see that Mattia Glavertits and Colin Elise side by side. Colin has the DRS, goes through. Mattia looking to maybe make a move down the inside. No, he sticks. Oh, and John Tanner nearly with a move down the inside, but Mattia kept it cool, calm, collective. Rob Kornarskis is creeping up on Alex Norris. Tom Zeo might actually have a chance of surviving here if Rob starts battling Alex. A little bit of a DRS train will be formed, but that might be something that Tom will need to win this race, because maybe I'm saying, oh, he's gonna have to look at a podium, but in his mind he's thinking, I want to win this race, and he would deserve it for such a great start. Right, down the penultimate corner they go. So we have a car off the track. I am not quite able to... it's Juan Fernandez. What now? Tom Zeo across the DRS line. He won't be having DRS, but Rob, who's just 3/10 behind Alex, will. He's gonna have to slipstream, but Alex also has DRS on Tom, so Rob won't be able to catch up to Alex. But wow, they're so close to Tom. Rob going slightly wide into turn 1. Rob Kornarski is so close to Alex, but Alex still has that DRS off of Tom Zeo, which means that Rob doesn't really have that big of an advantage, but he might have it in this corner. They have some contact, I think. Drop down the inside. Now he's gonna have to do it around the outside, which is pretty hard for this corner, but I've seen Rob do worse. Oh, and they make contact. Rob and Alex touch. Eldot. Oh, he backs out. I think he purposefully backed out there. Smart move by the Bosnian driver. That was a little bit of unfair racing, I think. Between... as Juan Fernandez is again off of the racing surface. But look at this. All of this battling means that Tom Zeo has put Alex out of DRS, which means Rob will now be the one who has DRS on Alex. He's gonna be looking to make a move on the next straight. No DRS for Alex, which means Tom Zeo may actually win this race. Just 3 laps left to go. Rob opens his DRS. Alex does not have DRS. Alex goes defensive, but Rob goes into the inside as well. Rob makes the move, but Alex might be going around the outside here. No. Rob goes into P3. Oh, big dive bomb by Alex. That nearly went wrong. Alex Norris fighting his tires for his life. Rob a 1.1 second gap on the leader, but just 3 laps remaining, and Alex Norris on his tail. Could Tom Zeo be the hero of today, or will Rob spoil his party? Mattia and Colin still battling it out there. very, very close to each other. Side by side are Bobby and Yanis for P20. Ooh, nearly a bit of a lunge by Yanis. Rob definitely pushing hard, hard, hard. Look at that top right. Purple sector 2 for him. He's gonna want the DRS on Tom Zeo. The gap is 0.9 seconds. As we have a full course safety car. What has happened? I don't see anyone standing still on track. Let's see, why was the safety car called? I think there is the safety car. Oh, no overtaking on their safety car. This is interesting. I think we might have had a car that was flipped perchance. I did not quite catch it on live, unfortunately, but what we do know is that we have a safety car and Tom Zeo loses all of the advantage that he had not too long ago. But on the other hand, staying behind the safety car means that... Okay, lapped cars can overtake, that's good. Staying behind the safety car means that there will be less laps to race. So let's just think this through. If we're assuming that the safety car goes in this lap and we see a car off the track, by the way. Who is that? Hold up. Let's just get the drone cam in. Oh, and it was Borja Kankunen. He's just disconnected from the server. That might have been some issue with his internet, maybe even. Anyways, let's just think this through for Tom. He is in the leads and he will be able to lead the pack going into turn 1. I think they're going to try to do it this lap because the safety car is going very, very slowly. So if Tom gets a good restart, he might be able to win this race. They will have 2 laps of racing, which means no more DRS. DRS is over. And I think Alex might be still a little bit salty about that contact between him and Rob earlier. So Alex is gonna go very elbows out. This is gonna be just great. Please stick around if you're watching. Grab your popcorn. This will be a great restart. Right, as we're getting closer to the final sector, I think the safety car wants to come in this lap. We'll see if that's gonna happen. We're entering sector 3 now. Most of the cars have joined the grid. Will they be doing another lap for a wave by, or will they be coming in this lap? The lights are off. The safety car is going to be in this lap. The safety car goes off, which means that it's now all up to Tom Zeo to restart this race. This is going to be very, very tough for him mentally, but I'm sure he's going to be up to the challenge. Rob Kornarski is on his tail. And Tom Zeo goes. Rob goes with him. Alex gets a great launch out of the corner. Not to forget, Rob definitely going through with Tom. Tom now on the left hand side. He has no more moves allowed. He has to stay to the outside now. Rob down the inside. Tom on the inside tries to keep it, but he doesn't have the grip on the outside. Rob moves up into P1, but Tom still on the inside. They make some contact. Rob now going on the outs. Oh, touch. Rob still in P1 with a little bit of touching, but Alex moves up to P2 and Tom Zeo has lost 2 positions in 1 sector. Oh no. Now Alex is hungry for that race win. Just 2 tenths behind Rob Kornarskis here. He's right on his tail. Tries to take a little bit of a tighter line into this corner, but you need the traction, and I think he does. It's not going to be enough to set up an overtaking opportunity. These drivers are planning this out, planning these overtakes out for laps, but what do you do when there's just one lap left? Tom Zeo now facing Eldad Zokanovic. Well, Eldad slightly losing some time in the start of the third sector here. Tom Zeo might actually be looking to make a move on Alex, the way it seems. Rob definitely has a big gap. No more DRS. It will get enabled this lap, which means that some drivers... Wait, no, it won't get activated, of course. This is the second lap after safety car. Which means that Tom Zeo tries to brake to Alex, but he doesn't manage. Ooh, car spun. I think that's Hugo Rodriguez. Yes, it is. Hugo Rodriguez spun on the final lap of the race. Hugo, who was fighting for a P3, I think it was. Yeah, P3 not long ago. Rage quitted, unfortunately. He had such a good race, but spun on the final corner. That's very, very unfortunate. And we have lapped traffic in the form of Yanis Ogmanis here. He might have had some issues. He was fighting Bobby Vakinov earlier. Bobby up to P13 here. I don't think there's gonna be enough time for an overtake on the front, but Shane Poss goes wide. Will he bottle his P10? I'm not sure if he lost positions doing this. But that could have gone wrong if there was gravel at the exit of that corner. But we do see now Tom Zeo, Eldad Zokanovic, very, very close. Eldad goes wide. Eldad now around the outside. Tom Zeo parks it, and Eldad gets hit by Milan. Eldad is spun around, collected by some other cars. Rob wins the race. There's been a massive accident in the final corner. And who is the big loser? It's Eldad, claiming his P12. Although he finished in P1 in the first race. Milan hit him after Eldad got the corner pretty slow because he was fighting Tom Zeo. And it lost him a ton. Right, so I will name the final standings for you guys. It is Rob Kornarskis who manages to get P1 in this race after his slightly unfortunate ending of the first race. Behind him is Alex Norris, P3 for Milan Ailing, surprisingly. Tom Zeo, P4, P5 is Shane Posh. Behind him is Bobby, Carlton, Mattia, Jacob, Brandon, John Tanner, Hugo Edila, Kuba, Siordon, Will Evans, Victor Mojito, Shinji Greenfox, Jelle Klein Velderman, Yuri Gonzalez, Yanis Ekmanis, Christopher Asashabel, Eldad, Colin, Danny Game 10, Juan Fernandez, Hugo Rodriguez, and Boya Kankunen. I want to thank each and all of y'all for watching today's race. This was a very, very good racing. Also a little bit of context. Next week we will be back same day, same time, we will be racing at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. So if you want to see that action, please make sure to tune back in. Other than that, I want to thank everyone for your time and have a great Easter and great rest of your evening.